Welcome everyone to episode 10 of ServiceDesk Plus Cloud Masterclass for 2025. I'm really glad you're here. Today's session is all about helping you get more out of your ServiceDesk Plus Cloud setup. And of course, we'll wrap this session up with an open Ask Me Anything. So feel free to come up with your questions in the questions tab. Here's what we'll be exploring in today's session. We'll walk you through some of the most impactful enhancements released this year, including a smarter, more customizable request layout, a refreshed self service portal experience, powerful workflow transitions, deeper service category structuring, a cleaner, focused detail view, and an alert mechanism that reduces unnecessary delays in request handling. Each improvement is designed to help teams work faster, collaborate better, and bring more clarity into their ITSM processes. In today's episode, we'll introduce you ServiceDesk Plus Cloud, a robust SaaS-based help desk solution designed to streamline and optimize IT service management across organizations of all sizes. ServiceDesk Plus Cloud is available in three distinct editions, each crafted to meet specific operational needs. The Standard Edition provides the essential building blocks for ITSM. It includes core functionalities such as incident management, a self service portal, knowledge base, multi site support, SLA management, and help desk reporting, delivering a strong foundation for handling service requests effectively. Stepping up, we have the Professional Edition. This enhances the standard with additional capabilities like help desk management, IT asset and software management, purchase and contract management. This is ideal for organizations seeking greater visibility and control over their IT infrastructure. At the top tier, we have the Enterprise Edition, which offers a comprehensive ITSM suite. It includes problem management, change and release management, IT project management, service catalog, and an integrated asset and CMDB, making it the perfect fit for larger enterprises with complex service management requirements. For today's walkthrough, we're using the Enterprise Edition. This gives us full access to advanced features like the CMDB, Visual Lifecycle Builder, multi-model asset discovery, and a complete ITSM functionality. So you'll get to see the workflow in its most powerful form. If you ever feel like you're not sure whether you're using your instance to its fullest, we've got you covered. Our free consultation program gives you a 1 hour personalized session where our experts look at your environment, your usage patterns, and offer a tailor made set of recommendations to elevate your IT operations. Kindly scan the QR to register and book your slot for the free consultation. We're also dropping in the link in the chat for you to access. With that foundation in place, let's look at what's new. The second half of 2025 has brought a set of enhancements that focus heavily on usability, clarity, and automation. Each feature you'll see today is built based on real customer feedback. So think of these not just as updates, but as solutions shaped by actual IT service experiences. The first one we'll be looking into is the request layout customization. One of the biggest improvements is the ability to fully customize the request details layout. You can now design the screens the way technicians actually use it, highlight priority fields, group related sections together, and create a layout that reduces clicks and boosts clarity. Whether you're handling high volume tickets or specialized service requests, this gives you the power to build a clean, intuitive experience that matches your process perfectly. So let's take a moment to walk through this, how you can completely tailor the request details page layout. Let's navigate to the application. You go to Setup, and under Layouts, we have the Details page layout. Here you have the flexibility to create separate layouts for technicians and requesters, ensuring each group sees exactly what matters the most to them. Once you're inside, let's click on Customize under the Technician layout. You can reorganize the entire page with a simple drag and drop reorder tabs. So if I do want to reorder the tab order, I simply drag and drop it to how I want it to look. Here, I can select in the fields that I want it to display. I can uncheck the ones that I do not need and check in the ones that I do require. Moreover, under the More section, I can hide less used ones under them. Either I can drag and drop and hide these. So this keeps things more streamlined and clutter free. Now technicians also get some freedom over here. If they allow technicians to edit their layout option, and yes, it's enabled by default, they can personalize their own request details layout. But as the admins stay in control, they can decide whether technicians are allowed to make these changes. By default, whatever layout SD admins configure applies to all technicians. Let me go to the Request tab and show you how a technician can customize their own layout. So you simply click on the Layouts option and click on My Layout. This overrides the default setup. So with these options, you're not just customizing a page, you're shaping a smoother and faster workflow for everyone who interacts with your service desk. So this is a new layout that I have chosen for my viewing. Next, we have the self-service portal enhancements. The self-service portal is often the first touch point for every end user. And now it's more flexible than ever. With industry-specific templates and user-level variables, you can now personalize the experience so users only see what's relevant to them. This helps encourage submissions, improves user adoption, and creates a much more smoother request logging journey. So to see this, let's go back to the application. I'll go to admin and I go to request a portal. Here, I select the request a portal customization. So let's look at what's new in the code-based request a portal customization wizard. So I click on configure and let's edit it on the right. First, we'll look at the new templates that have been brought in. First, we've added a brand new set of industry-specific templates. These templates are designed around real business processes across multiple industries. So you can instantly choose on a template that you need so that it matches the way your organization works without starting from scratch. Next, let's look at personalization. The wizard now supports a wide range of variables, allowing you to create content that adapts to each user automatically. So if I click on variables, and first we'll go through the user variable, you can now display information that's unique to each logged in user, making the portal feel more relevant and tailored. With the text variables, you can now insert predefined phrases that automatically translate and display in the user's preferred language, helping you deliver a consistent experience across regional teams. And finally, we also have greeting message variables, which adjusts greeting based on the time of the day and adds a friendly human touch to your portal pages. So if I want to make use of a text variable, I simply click on that and make some relevant changes, and that would be displayed on your self-service portal. We also have greeting messages visible over here. And finally, we have the widgets. Widgets are now easier to work with both CAN widgets and URL widgets, which are neatly organized under the widgets filter dropdown. So you can find, select, and add components much faster while building the portal. Together, these enhancements make your request portal more dynamic, more personalized, and perfectly aligned with the needs of your users and your industry. Next, we have the user transitions and workflows. We've added more control to your workflows with user transitions on status connectors. This ensures that only the right people, according to the rules you define, can move a request from one stage to another. This prevents accidental progression or bypassing of critical approval points. It brings more structure, more accountability, and more consistency to your workflows. So let's take a look at how user transitions and guided paths control and strengthen the control and consistency inside your workflows. So let's go back to the application. We'll close this up, go to the setup and workflows. So let me create a new workflow. Let me put in a name for that. Here, we can start by configuring user transitions on status output connectors. Let me click on add node. Let's put in a basic open status. Here, under manual transitions, you would be able to manual transitions. You can add up to 10 transitions to each status output connector, giving you flexibility while still keeping your process structured. Each transition, when you click on that, let me give a name for that. So each transition, when I select on it, can be defined using user scope rules, mandatory conditions, and action rules. These rules let you decide exactly who can trigger the transition, what conditions must be met, and what actions should be performed when that transition occurs. Next, you can also enable dual flow from any statuses, meaning you can have both the manual and the automated transitions operating together. This ensures that workflows stay seamless even when automations are delayed and gives users a fallback to continue the process. Manual transitions, of course, requires user intervention. So let me open up a request over here. We'll close this up. So if I open up a request over here to show you how these transitions work on, let me open up this. We can create a new issue itself. Let's select on the right template. Let's open up a request in which we actually have a So only users with the right permissions can trigger these transitions present, and they'll do this directly from the details page of the respective modules. While the system waits for a user transition, the workflow execution status will show waiting for user transition. So let me open a request and I'll duplicate it so that I can show it to you. So here it will wait for a user transition to take place. Let me just duplicate this request. So when you do see, once a request is logged, you will have transitions present on the screen. So only users with the right permission can trigger these transitions and they can do it directly from the details page. So to further control how requests move through different statuses, you can enable the guided path in workflows. This restricts users to follow only those status changes defined within the workflow. So to enable the guided path under workflows, we'll go to setup, automations, and workflows. You can choose the module that you want to work with. And under global workflow settings, you would be able to enable follow guided path over here. If you want to enable that for specific workflows, you would have to go to actions and manage status and turn on the required option. Once the guided path is enabled, manual status changes are no longer allowed. Only transition defined statuses will appear when a request is awaiting user transitions. And users will see a guided path notification in their workflow execution details pop up on their details page. So if I go back to the request, I open it up. These transitions, I will be able to perform on them only if I have the required permissions. So if I click on that, it's going to go into the next change. And you would see a small highlight saying follows guided path. So with user transitions and guided path support now built directly into workflows, you also have the ability to convert life cycles into workflows. So if I go to setup, I go to life cycles. From the life cycles list view, simply click on the actions button. I click on this and I can create it as a workflow. Once created, let's choose another one that's actually working. So once, okay, let's create as workflow, click on create. So once this process is complete, this lifecycle would be converted as a workflow. I go to the workflow section and I can see the workflow over here that was converted from a lifecycle. These enhancements give you a sharper control and clearer guidance and a more reliable workflow experience. The next one we have is the service category enhancements. Service category has been expanded to support up to 5 levels of subcategories. This allows you to design a clear hierarchical structure for your service catalog. Whether you have complex departmental services, multiple variants of offering, or deep categorization needs, you now have the flexibility to organize everything in a way that makes sense for your users and even your reporting. So let's go back to the application. Let's go to setup and service category. So let me open up a service category that I've already created. That's hardware. You'll now see its child categories, its service templates, and even the associated incident templates all in one place, all neatly organized under their own dedicated tabs. This gives you a complete view of everything connected to categories all in one place. You can also restructure your catalog effortlessly. You can move service categories to become child or parent categories depending on how you want to organize your services. And even if needed, you can move service templates across different service categories with just a few clicks. On the Customize Catalog option, you now have even more control. You can customize the layouts of each service category's description, make it easier to present information the way you want, and under Preferences, you would be able to sort service categories in either an ascending or descending order to keep your catalog clean and easy to navigate. With these enhancements, your service catalog becomes more structured, more flexible, and much easier to manage within a single view. No matter how complex your services become, it's all manageable right under the service categories tab. The next feature we have is a focus details view. It automat this feature it automatically hides all empty fields on both the canvas and the right pane. So let me go back to the application and show this on live. So I open up a request. I go to the details view. Here I have the ability to hide all empty fields. Right now, it's going to be showing in all of the fields. You do see that some fields are not filled in, and I do not want to be looking around the details section, figuring out which the information is relevant. It may seem like a small enhancement, but it makes a huge impact on technician efficiency. So if I hide the empty fields, I do see only the information that's relevant to me. So instead of scrolling through every empty placeholders, they immediately see only the information that's actually existing. The result is a neater, more professional interface that's faster to navigate and far easier to work with. So here I can hide in the fields from the details section, and within the panel on the right side, we can hide in these fields. And finally, we have the next enhancements, technician and availability alert. This is a simple but incredibly effective enhancement, the technician and availability alerts. So to look at right into action, let me, okay, the technician and availability alert. Next, we'll look into live into action. So if I open up a request, and now if I, so if I open up a request, and here I'm trying to assign it to another technician who's actually unavailable or is on leave. What I'll do is I'll click on the technician and assign it over here. So right here, the system notifies them instantly that the technician is currently unavailable. This prevents delays, avoids unnecessary reassignments, and removes all the guesswork from routing. So you'll see these alerts right inside both the request form and the technician assignment form. So right here, I wouldn't be able to assign. Now when I create a new request and I want to assign it to someone, I go to technicians field and I select the same user. I'm notified here itself that the technician is unavailable, either they are busy or on leave, and I can select in another user and assign them as a technician. So you'll see these alerts right inside the request form, the technician assignment form. This ensures that every assignment goes to the right person at the right time, and your turnaround times simply stay sharp and consistent. That brings us to the open AMA session. This is your space to ask anything, whether it's about feature workflows, best practices, upcoming releases, that anything that's on your mind. Drop your questions in the questions panel, and our product experts present here will be answering them live.
All right, so I hope everyone can hear me. So we have the AMA session, and firstly, I would thank Nandini for a great showcase of the latest updates and enhancements in ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. So we have a couple of questions that all of you have already asked. We will go through them one by one. So to begin with, the first question is if it is possible to limit an SD admin from modifying the SLA related fields, either be it the due date or the response by date. And also there is a extra clarification for this. So they wanted to know if they can limit access from the edit window, but if they do display the due by date and the response due by date in the details panel, and do they have the option to spot edit it, and can SD admins modify those? So we have Benson who will be answering all our questions today. So Benson. Yeah.
All right. So the SD admin role is provided to any technician who would want to manage Service Desk Plus. So under setup roles, you have default roles, and you also have the option to create multiple roles, like customized roles. So when you assign a role to a technician, you can limit them from modifying the due date. But if an SD admin role is given, that's the highest role you could give. So it's super admin. And yes, the admin will be able to modify all the operations inside the request and also make admin configurations. So you need to give a less limited privileged permission for that technician. So that's about the first question.
All right. So we have the next question. So The next question is, would it be possible to have multiple survey templates and tie them to a specific template or a specific group, either user group, technician group, etc.?
All right, so here, when you configure surveys, you have an option under setup. When you're logged in as an SD admin, you can view the option called as survey rules. So under survey rule, you can create a rule and provide the condition. And for the condition, you can specify a particular template name for which you want this survey to be triggered. And then you can create survey templates specifically for that particular templates for that particular users, and then they will be sent. So that's how you can configure.
All right. So the next question is it possible for technicians who are, let's say, reporting managers, and can they add the unavailability for their reportees in the Service Desk Plus Cloud application?
All right, so here we have few roles apart from SD admin for which you can have the technician availability chart. So in next to the home tab, you will find an option where you can schedule, where you have the calendar view with dates, and you can select a date and mark leave for a technician. So that particular chart is visible for roles with SD admin, SD site admin, and SD coordinator. So apart from the normal role you have provided to a technician, if it's going to be a reporting manager or a team manager, you can provide the role of SD coordinator, and he should be able to mark leaves for other technicians.
All right. Yeah. So next is a question regarding features available in the project module. I think if you could probably give us more information on what exactly would you like to see, probably you can email our team, and then they would help you with anything specific that you would like to see.
Yeah, so the whole of project management, we can showcase the features available, we can create sample projects, show the admin configurations and how it would how you will be able to see that. And you can just send us an email, and we'll schedule a call with you and give you like a 15 to 20-minute demo of project management.
All right. So I think in adding to the previous query regarding the surveys, the question says, for the advanced survey settings, do you need a license for Zoho Survey? Uh,
No, you don't need additional license for using Zoho Survey. What we can do is we can assist you over a call. So we can configure a survey, create survey, sample survey templates for you. We'll be happy to do that for you. We'll reach via email.
All right. Yeah. There's another question that's come up. So I see the option subform type under customizations. So they want to know if there is any use case that they can probably refer to in terms of the subform feature.
Okay, so yeah, good that you brought up this particular functionality. So in Service Desk Plus, we have an option called as custom module. So similar to that of what you see with request, problem, change, assets, projects, contracts, and so on, you can create your own customized module. To be in a simple term, let it be like a rows and columns, like an Excel sheet, so wherein you can put in the data and then refer that data in other modules, like you can refer that in request or problem or change. So that's where a custom module comes into place. Now when you create a custom module, and then in that custom module, if you wanted to have a reusable form component, like you wanted to have a form talking about the first name, last name, job title, email address, and so on. So something like a form which you wanted to have that, and have it as a capture processing. Let's say like you wanted to have the hardware details captured for assets. You can create a sub form and have that marked under a custom module and use it. So that's where you have the subform used. So that option is available under setup. You should have seen there. So if you want further details, yes, we can demo and talk about the best possible way to implement that particular functionality you're looking into.
All right. We have another question. So, can users with the technician role assigned to them see and maybe access the technician availability chart from, I think, the homepage?
Yeah, so the technician availability chart, as I said, is available for SD admin, SD site admin, and SD coordinator for now.
All right.
So if a technician is assigned with any of these three roles, that's when they see the technician availability chart. The question you asked regarding subform type, which is under customization, you can email us with your use case, and because we can create custom module for you, design the subform, and know the real use case in your environment and have it implemented. So you can just email us at hello@servicedeskplus.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hazel was asking that for multiple approvals in the workflow, would it be possible to resend the previous approval once the current approval has been rejected?
And thank you, Hazel. Thank you for asking this question. Hi, everyone. And when it comes to looping the rejected approvals, it is not possible to do it automatically. But then you can trigger the rejected approvals manually. All right. If you are expecting an automated way, we are still working on that progress. But then we have an additional information called need more info button, where before the approver rejects the approval, he can get more information from the end users, putting the approval under a pending status. Right. This feature was not available before 6 months, but then this is a recent addition feature which an approver can make use of it.
All right, Franco. So I have a couple of questions for you.
All right.
So first question was, would it be possible to add custom fields in the requester or technician right-hand side layout? So that would help them display a particular information in the request details page.
Certainly, Saket, because not just the default fields, customers would also expect an custom fields which could be a prominent information for them. Yes, this can be added under layout customization itself, which Bhavadarni would have demonstrated during our showcase. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it is
Awesome.
possible. Yeah.
Okay. Next, we have another question. So what they were asking us is, in case one of the users does not know how to customize using the HTML code, or they have minimal experience with HTML coding,
Right.
is there a way that they can get like low code suggestions, or do they have the ability, or would they have any help in configuring the GUI based customizations? Would that be possible? And how can that be done?
Yes, certainly. So we are not leaving any customers here. So for the customers who knows about coding, they can make use of the code-based customization. Who's not well versed in coding, yes, they can certainly make use of low-code customization option, which is available. All right. So when it comes to code-based, yes, we have launched some variables. Which is like user variable, text variables that has been launched, and for those customers who are looking out for industry-based templates, which is also be launched recently, right? And they can also add URL widgets, which means if they would like to redirect from our self-service portal to a different application, right? They can make use of URL widget to host the URL within our portal.
Okay.
So any sort of customization is possible, but if you are if the end user is already aware about the coding practice and all, they can customize it by themselves. Otherwise, they can also reach out to us with the set of requirements. We can also help them to customize the code accordingly. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the URL widgets also is available right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So after this masterclass, I'll also go and try it out in my instance then. Cool. All right. So we have another question. So it is they were one of the customers was asking that is it possible to use like a reference image that they can use to create a workflow automatically in ServiceDesk Plus?
Perfect. That's a perfect question because I hope every other customers here have experience and tried using Ask Zia, right? Ask Zia has the multimodal capability where you can create request using text, create request using image, and create request using by transcript your voice, audio inputs.
Okay.
So similarly, Workflow Assist also has this feature to we call it as VLM capability where you can import images and we will read through the image and create a workflow for you.
Okay.
But this feature is restricted only to certain AI providers. As you all know that we have 3 AI providers. By default, we provide Zia, which is our in-house hosted LLM.
Yes.
And we also provide other 2 AI providers, Azure OpenAI and ChatGPT. So if the customers are using Azure OpenAI and ChatGPT, yes, they can very well make use of the images to create a workflows.
Oh,
right?
awesome.
Yes, that is possible.
That's a nice feature, and I think that would ease up the daunting process of actually having to drag and drop each of the node into the workflow. Yeah. So we also have a couple of questions here in the masterclass. So let's just go over them now. So first question is I got a question about the upcoming scheduled management disaster recovery drill that is switching everyone on the US data center to the disaster recovery server and then switching back on the weekend of the 8th December. Is there any action that is required from the user's point of view?
So in the user's point of view, in case if our customers are using mail server settings, I mean on-premise mail server settings, I mean not the cloud mail servers. If you're using on-premise mail server settings, just ensure that IPs are whitelisted. Otherwise, you're good to go. You don't have
Okay.
to do anything because it's the complete cloud-based model. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I am guessing not much that
Yes,
the user
if the
has
customer
to do from their
is
side.
using on-premise mail servers, then they'll have to ensure that the IPs are whitelisted.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. So we have another really good question. So currently they're using the on-premises version of Service Desk Plus, and they wanted to know how easy would it be to move to the cloud and how time consuming is the process.
All right. So when it comes to migration from on-premise to cloud, we have dedicated team. But then when you ask about the time, it actually depends on the data. How much data you have in the on-premise environment is what really matters. So it depends on the data. We can help you with an actual ETA for the complete migration process. All right. It would be great if you could help us with some sort of email to the SDP ITSM team so that we can take it from there.
Okay. All right. So I think they can reach out to the dedicated team and
We will drop the
receive all
support
help.
email address
Yes.
at the end of this.
Yes, we'll do that as well. They're also asking, is there a cost for the assistance to move from on-prem to
So,
cloud?
like I said before, we have 2 teams. Like, if you need a complete assistance from our end, yes, it's a premium service.
Okay.
There is also, we also support a free migration for this, right? Where we will help you with the data. You have to actually import it by yourself, right? You can do that. Otherwise, you can also, make use of the premium service. Yes, we have 2 services. You can avail it as per your convenience. Yes.
Okay. I think that makes it a little easier for to make a decision as well. Yeah. The next question is with regards to the auto number field, is it possible to reset the numbering to 1 every day, like the queuing process?
All right. So, which means every day you have, if you have a huge amount of requests created, we can set up a script to reset the field value or something like that, and we can come up with that process. Yes, you can drop an email with your requirement. We can talk to the team and help you with that process. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next question is adding assets. While adding assets, can ServiceDesk Plus communicate with Intune to get the assets, or do you have to export only into ServiceDesk Plus?
Not really. We do support Intune integration at the moment. Yes, you can integrate with Intune, and all the assets like your workstations along with your mobile devices can be imported, fetched in ServiceDesk Plus Cloud automatically. And you
Okay.
can also perform some Intune actions right from ServiceDesk Plus Cloud itself. Like you don't have to navigate to Intune to perform those actions. So we have that provision right from ServiceDesk Plus Cloud, where you can select an asset, select a workstation, and perform the Intune actions from ServiceDesk Plus Cloud itself. So it is already possible, yes.
Okay. All right. So if you have any questions, kindly do add them into the questions panel. We have been receiving questions, and it could be regarding anything. So it need not be just regarding the features that we've discussed today. It could be regarding any feature, any module in the Service Desk Plus Cloud application. You can also ask regarding support, etc. So please feel free to add in your questions. Meanwhile, we'll also go over some of the other questions that we had received earlier. So one other really good question that I felt was how does the predictive and Gen AI features in Service Desk Plus work? And to add to that, how does the LLM? So we spoke about three different LLMs being like having the ability to use three different LLMs. How do they train using the data from, let's say, my own Service Desk Plus instance?
All right. So thank you for this question in first place, because it's one of the question from the customer's end, right? All right.
Yes.
So when it comes to predictive features, all right. So predictive features, we create models specific to each organization, right? We don't train our global models using every customer's data. We create models for each customer. So if any customer navigate to predictive features section, we may not let them to choose a different AI provider in predictive features.
Okay.
Right? But when you navigate to Gen AI features, yes, we allow the capability for the technicians. I mean, the end users can leverage using their own AI providers.
Yes.
But when it comes to predictive features, the models that we create will be specific to the instance. So the data is not shared across instances or across organizations.
Okay.
All right. So customers can be pretty much sure about it. And the Gen AI works completely based on prompt engineering, right? We prompt and get the data out of it.
Okay.
But the AI output, AI generated data will be there in the application as long as they choose to be with us, right?
Okay. Fine.
So that's how the Gen AI feature works. The predictive works completely based on machine learning. The Gen AI works completely based on prompt engineering, right? How does the LLM train using the data? So when it comes to Zia, right, we have our in-house LLM, right? So and we also launched our Zia Zoho's own LLM, but that's in progress on the other way. But right now we support three AI providers. One is Zoho's in-house LLM, and the second one will be the Azure OpenAI, and third one will be the ChatGPT LLM, right? So when it comes to Azure OpenAI and ChatGPT, it's completely based on their terms and conditions. So you can check with them on this, but we are working on a complete structure how all these LLM train and use our data. So we will launch it. But if you have any specific questions related to it, because this is a vast topic which I cannot explain it right now, but then if you have any specific questions related to the models or the AI features, how it works, you can drop an email. Our team can help you with that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes. So another, I think, a more important question that was asked was, are the Zia and AI capabilities in Service Desk Plus, are they a paid add-on, or is it available for free, or how does one actually go ahead and access them?
All right. So this is again a common question that we get everywhere.
Yes.
So we are not limiting the AI features for the editions, because it is available for all editions. All right. But there are some major AI features like Ask Zia, Workflow Assist, Code Generator. These are available only in enterprise version of the platform.
Okay.
But in case if any customers would like to utilize Ask Zia in the standard and professional edition, they can make use of other AI providers like ChatGPT and Azure OpenAI, through which they can make use of the Ask Zia features.
Okay.
There is this feature called Solution Assist, which is available only in the enterprise edition for now.
Okay.
Right? So
yeah. But the rest of the AI features
most of
and
the AI
predictive,
features,
etc., is available across all the
True,
editions?
true.
Okay.
When it comes to predictive, yes, it is
Mhm.
available on all the editions, and Gen AI is available on all editions as well. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Except these 4 features.
Okay, a couple of them,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
And it is included within the subscription, right?
Yes, true.
Yes, so it's not a paid add-on anymore. All right, so that is the big question that a couple of our customers had asked, and I think we have resolved that now. Um, all right, so we have another question. So, is it possible to change the default save location for file attachments? For example, like your Google Drive or any of the other work drive providers? I think that's the question.
Okay, so are you referring to the cloud attachments, right? When we import the attachments to service desk, I mean to the request, or the files when you save it, actually save it to your, I mean, right from the attachments you save it, right from the request you save it to the local machines, like yeah. Either way, yes, it is possible. You can try it out, and if you are facing any difficulties related to it, you can reach us out. Yeah.
Okay, so that is possible at the moment. Okay. So another question that was put to us was, could you recommend when someone could use, let's say, an auto transition versus a manual transition in the workflow? Because now we have the manual transition capability as well. So, and because people might have been used to the request lifecycle and the transitions from there, how would like adding both of them, how including both of them in a workflow, how would that work, and
Great
what
question.
would
One
be a
of the
good
great
suggestion
questions,
for that?
because people are very often confused when to use auto transition and when to use manual transition, and that was the first question that we had. When we launched this feature to the customers.
Yes.
Right. So if you want your workflow to be completely automated, right, without any human intervention, yes, you can go with the automated workflow.
Okay.
But then there are some process where I need some human to manually sit and verify and approve or proceed to the next process.
Okay.
Right. In that case, manual intervention, I mean user transition, is required.
Okay.
For example, you can also make use of both the transition at the moment, right, at the
Okay.
same time.
Okay.
So at the same time, in the sense, if there are any delay in the automated process, right, you can let one of the technician who is viewing the request to proceed with the manual way, right?
Oh, okay.
And at the same time, you can also ensure that all the automations you have listed under the automated way can be followed in the manual way. For example, if you are freezing the workflow with the help of wait for node, and without that value, you do not want the workflow to proceed to the next phase.
Okay.
Right. At the same time, you can also add a manual transition and mandate that certain field within the manual transition itself. So if
Okay.
someone is looking at the request, and if he needs to proceed to the next process, he'll click on that button, right, transition button. At the time when he clicks on that button, will automatically populate, ask for the mandated information and get the information from the end user.
Okay, so it can also be used as a redundancy as well.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true, right?
All
So yes, so and the common question we have is like, when both the transition is in place, which one executes first?
Yes.
It's either of those. If
Okay.
the automated transition goes first, the manual transition gets discarded, and vice versa, right?
Okay.
That's how it works.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question is, we have a lot of redundant users in our on-prem system. How do we deal with them, and will their tickets still be available to be viewed later on? I think I'm guessing in case they are removed from.
I guess it's the same user who asked
Yes,
about the
they are
migration.
currently using the on-premises version of ServiceDesk Plus.
All right, so we can still retain the request if you have the data in your on-premise system, right? We can get the all those requests and have it imported in ServiceDesk Plus Cloud, and put it under archived mode, right?
Okay.
We have an archive policy within ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. If the rule is set right, so all those requests which we got from the on-premise system can be put under a read-only mode, right?
Okay.
So yes, it is certainly possible. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So one other question that we had, and even I had sort of this similar question was: is it possible to alert a user? So when they're creating a request, is it possible to alert them when a technician is on leave? So I think we saw something similar in the masterclass, but just wanted to check with you
True.
once.
So, yep, we can throw an alert when our some end user or an admin tries to assign a technician who is on leave, right?
Okay. Yes.
So, if an organization has a practice of following a technician availability chart, marking leave within ServiceDesk Plus Cloud,
Yes.
or marking leave in their Outlook, and if they have a proper integration with ServiceDesk Plus Cloud and the Outlook calendar, right? So if their leave informations are synchronized from their Outlook calendar to ServiceDesk Plus Cloud, this is certainly possible. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that means in case I am also using Outlook as my mandatory calendar program, I can also sync that into Service Desk Plus Cloud, and based on that particular leave, I can also show them an alert.
So, with this, I would like to emphasize, because we have a tight calendar integration, Outlook calendar integration
Yes.
for syncing their leave information and reminders.
Yes.
Right. So yes, all their leave information can be synchronized with Service Desk Plus Cloud, and if it is properly synchronized, yes, if the technician is on leave, if someone tries to manually assign the technician, we
Yes.
can throw an alert right at the moment itself.
All right. Okay. So also, if anyone is interested in knowing what other Microsoft integrations we had a previous masterclass where we went over all the different features and the different integrations we have with the Microsoft application. So you can go ahead and check them out in our YouTube playlist as well. All right. We have another question. So the question is it possible to create a workflow in which a service request is created, and the service request will go through several approvals, and after the approvals, it gets created as a ticket in another module, like let's say project management or change management, and all the details from the request is populated into the ticket in the other module?
All right. So I would like to answer this question in two way. Even now it is possible.
Yes.
But then even I cannot ask them to write a script to get this done.
Yes.
Right. Instead, we are focusing on a way like to have a direct integration. Most of you all might have heard about Zoho Flow integration, right? Which is a platform where I can connect with the SaaS-based applications, right? With the help of Zoho Flow, yes, you can trigger, change creation, problem creation right from the workflow itself through Zoho Flow actions.
Okay.
But then if and we are also this specific feature which Hazel asked us in our roadmap, right, for invoking actions in other modules, right? Even now, if they are already utilizing Zoho Flow, they can make use of Zoho Flow actions. But if they are looking for a module which is not available in Zoho Flow actions, they can certainly make use of custom functions, right? We can build a custom functions for them as per their requirement, and have the custom function triggered right from their workflow itself. Right, copying all the relevant field values right from the parent module to other modules. Yes, it is possible. When as a default feature, we are also focusing on this part.
Okay. And if they have the enterprise edition, they can use code generator as well.
Exactly, custom functions.
Yes.
Yep, true. That's true. Yeah.
So the question was, we have a question from Hazel that says, can we use Zoho Flow for free?
Zoho Flow for free. All right. So I'm not sure which edition you are in. If you are an enterprise edition, yes, it comes with a package. So yes, if you are in standard and professional, I don't think so. It is available for the standard and professional. So if you are, Flow is available within your package. Yes.
Okay. All right. And another question was, during the Christmas and New Year holidays, would the support services remain available, or are there any changes in the availability that they should probably be aware of?
Thank you, Anthony. So we are not limiting our support during Christmas and New Year. We work 24/7 on all through the year. So yes, our support team will be available during Christmas and New Year holiday as well.
All right. I think the first question is there anything related to AI features that can help reduce the incident counts or for the automation. So I think Hari Ganapati can take that up.
Yeah, hi, Gaurav. So, thank you for raising the question related to AI and how it can help you to reduce the incoming incidents. So, one of the frequent answers which we provide to this question is that start implementing the knowledge articles first, make it heavy and make it relevant to your end users. And once you have published enough knowledge articles, we have the RAG based knowledge retrieval. So that will help you to deflect significant amount of incoming tickets workload. So with the help of a RAG, whenever users try to submit the ticket, our AI chatbot, the Zia, will be able to provide instructions to the users on how to fix those issues before it even create as a ticket. So that is one of the best way I can recommend where AI can help you.
Thank you, Hari. Next question is regarding uh, the details page. So, does the hide empty detail as feature also apply for the asset overview?
Hi. To answer this question, I guess he's expecting about the asset details page, if I'm right. So for now, it is only available for the request details page. However, we'll share this feedback with the development team and get this sorted out for the asset details page as well.
Okay, all right. So we have another interesting question where the customer is asking, how can we integrate the HR system part of their onboarding? So, for example, for the requests that are coming into their services plus cloud instance, how do they? I think basically bring everything into a single central section.
All right, that's great. So, what kind of HR system you have is one of the prominent questions that I would ask to begin with. All right, and when it comes to the integration, so we focus on Zoho Flow, right? You might have heard about the recent launch about Zoho Flow, which can connect with any SaaS-based applications, right? So you can predominantly use Zoho Flow to connect with any SaaS-based applications. But if the HR system is not involved in within the Zoho Flow, you can certainly make use of the APIs to communicate with the HR system. So if you could help us with the detailed requirement through email and what kind of HR system you have, what actions and what requirements you have to achieve in terms of HR system, we can certainly help you achieve that, right?
All right. We also have, I think, a demo request here on how Zia would interact with their end users during the request creation. So I think
We do have a the recent masterclass about
yes,
it, right? We can share the recording to
yeah,
the user. But then, if you need a dedicated demo on how Zia performs live in the environment, we are very happy to do it, right? You can just drop an email to our support team. We'll be happy to showcase that.
all right. So there's another question on could you please explain the asset management module in detail, specifically how assets are discovered, etc. And I would also appreciate the guidance on recommended steps to configure asset discovery and the other asset management related steps.
In a nutshell, so in order to explain about asset management process, so I'll start with the asset discovery part, right? So we have one prominent technique that we follow right now is agentless scanning technique, right? Where we install an application called Pro, right? That has to be installed in one specific machine. Then this Pro will fetch all the machines that is connected to your network or domain and get the details to ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. And in our upcoming roadmap, we are also focusing on something called agent-based scanning, right? So this one, which I'm highlighting right now, is agentless scanning technique. And we are focusing on agent-based scanning technique where you will be installing agents in every machines, right? So when it comes to agentless scanning technique, there are some certain prerequisites that you have to ensure, like, you have to open up port 445 or 139, which is a file sharing port again, right? This will share some files to the target missions and performs the scan and shares the data with ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. And when it comes to asset management, it can help you to track the entire life cycle of an asset, right from the user procurement to its end of life. So you can track the entire life cycle of an asset with the help of ServiceDesk Plus Cloud Asset Management, right? So we can arrange a dedicated demo for this, and we can also share you a session or a recording related to the asset part in ServiceDesk Plus Cloud.
All right. So I think following up with the HR system integration, so they've gotten back to us saying that they do use a ESR. They use ESR, a manager which logs a form, and then that I think ends up logging a request in Service Desk Plus, which helps them to deploy a certain welcome kit to their end users.
All right, that's great. So if you have already have a tight integration with ESR to Service Desk Plus Cloud, then the life becomes easy. You can simply trigger a task, and if you would like to connect with Active Directory to create a user, right? If you are having an on-premise Active Directory, we can make use of Zoho Circuit to connect with such environment and create users. If you are having a cloud Active Directory, you can make use of Zoho Flow, and we can there is a pretty much decent difference between the Zoho Circuit and Zoho Flow. Zoho Circuit will help you to connect with any on-premise service, whereas Zoho Flow will help you to connect with any SaaS-based solutions. So in case if you have any other integrations, if you would like to perform, right, we can also make use of our APIs and leverage your use case here, right?
Okay. So there's a question regarding the approvals as well in the application. So they're asking how to automate the approval process specifically for their roles. Like, for example, a particular role should go to, like, a particular approval should go to, let's say, a said person, and they want to know how they can automate that entire process, is what I believe it is.
All right. So I would like to get more insight on this question. So what kind of a role? So when you talk about a role assigned to a specific person, we can make use of organization roles and trigger such approvals. But if he's talking about any custom roles which he is having created in a custom field, right? And based on that role, if he would like to trigger an approval to his reporting manager or to a different user, we can also do it, right? When it comes to approvals, he can make use of workflows, and he can also make use of triggers to trigger condition-based approvals. So either way, it is possible. So if you have any different requirements, yes, you can drop an email. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So one of the next question is, what is the best way to get Service Desk Plus to interact with a third-party platform? So that is, let's say, creating a new ticket and having the ticket update certain fields in the Service Desk Plus ticket. How can they go about doing this?
All right. So by default, we have some type integration with few of the products. If you are looking for a product which is not readily available within Service Desk Plus Cloud for the tighter integration, they can always make use of our APIs to connect with. Like it's again a language to connect between two software applications, right? Yes. So in case if you would like to leverage our APIs, yes, any such actions are possible, but then ensure the other application has an exposed or public API available. If it is available, yes, we can certainly do it.
Yes. All right. So the next question is regarding the categories that we went over, I think, in the towards the end of the feature showcase. So they want to know the difference between the child category, the subcategory, and the categories in general. Or I think this is regarding the customizations that we see in the help desk.
All right. So if it is regarding the service category that we have showcased, it's more of like, consider, I'm going to put it in this way, like, if you go to a restaurant, you have multiple sort of menus, right?
Yes.
Take it that way. Like, you might have both service request and incident request categorized under a single tree.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You can consider that scenario here and, form a hierarchical structure, right? For onboarding, you can have a set of onboarding templates. An onboarding process might also involve some, for example, a basic incident kind of templates can also be involved in that set of
Okay.
of categories. So
Okay.
you can involve both the templates within it. And onboarding process might come up with multiple process. I like not just focusing on onboarding. Within onboarding, you might have like procurement, asset procurement under a different subcategory, under onboarding process.
Okay.
So yes, you can categorize and leverage the service categories as such, and you can build your own set of categories within ServiceDesk.
Okay.
And by any chance, if you are talking about the categories which is available under the help desk, category, subcategory items, yes, it is available. Right, if you navigate to set up customization help desk, it is by default available. But if you're looking to build your own set of category, subcategory item, for those who are using enterprise edition, you can always make use of custom modules to build a such dependent category, subcategory item in a customized way.
All right. So next question is, how about if an unknown device is connected to the network and the agent is not possible to install, how to manage the particular device, and would service desk be able to or would not be able to track the unknown connected device? So I think it's a question that probably Hari can pick it up.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Saket. And thank you, Michael, for raising this question. I'm Hari from the product management team. So, your observation is correct. So, if an unknown device is in fact connected to the network and the service desk cannot identify it without the help of agent, because discovery works with the help of agents or scripts or through the probe, which requires identification actually. So in this case, what you are talking about is an entirely new IP address connecting into your network, and you need the service desk to discover it. It will not be possible through service desk. We have one more component from Manage Engine, which is called op utils, and the feature you are referring to will be named as rogue detection. So as an administrator, you will be able to initially fully identify the network, the 255 devices, full of it, whether how many of it is used, how many is it reserved for future allocation. You can mark it, and you can also specify which of these IP addresses are trusted and not trusted. And with the help of op utils component, you will be able to set up notifications as well. If any unknown devices plugs into your network and it takes up any of the reserved IP or the unreserved IP, you will be able to get it. And the component name is Manage Engine Op Utils. I will spell it here and provide you the link as well.
All right. Thanks, Hari. So we have the next question. So it's more like a requirement or an open-ended question. So they would like to know if how tickets can be automatically assigned to a certain technician group when a particular email is sent to the existing mailbox. And they would also like to know how the technician group should be configured to support a certain requirement like this. And also wanted to know, I think they also want to know how their existing mailbox configuration can be improved, I guess.
All right. Thanks for this question, Joe. It's a I wouldn't say it's a long question, but then so we can start with the first automation. If you navigate to technician groups, right under users and permissions, each technician group has a space to put an email address called group email address. For example, if you take an organization, HR team might have an individual email address. Here on the facilities team might have an individual email address, right? So two different email address, but the thing is, you have to create a forwarding rule with your primary address and ensure that those two email address are added within the technician groups under ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. Let's say now if someone sends an email to hr@gmail.com, it will automatically forward the email to ServiceDesk Plus Cloud and create a request, and at the same time it will also associate the group to the request. That's the first automation that I would say. We also have another set of automations like business rules, form rules, and triggers through which we can make it possible. So when it comes to form rules, yes, if it is a service request, you can make use of form rule to do it. If it is a both service or incident, you can make use of business rule and put your criteria and route it to a technician group. Or if it is triggers, you can also leverage timers to make a group update, right? But the prominent way of achieving this capability is configuring group email address under technician groups, all right, and creating a forwarding rule from the technician group to the primary email address you configure it within ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. And in terms of to address your question regarding the mailbox configuration, we do support Office 365, Outlook, Gmail, which is in beta for the modern authentication, and we also support native email address. I'm not sure whether you have explored the native email address. Each instance of ServiceDesk Plus Cloud comes with a default email address. All right. So the advantage of using this email address is, this email address is not exposed outside. You cannot access this mailbox externally. This can be accessed only within ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. That's the prominent advantage that I would say. And you don't have to whitelist any IP address or in your firewalls, right? So there are a lot more advantages of using native mail service. You can certainly drop an email. We can help you set it up.
All right. So the next question is regarding which agent is used during the asset scan that we were mentioning earlier.
All right. So when it comes to agent-based scanning, we are going to utilize Endpoint Central agents here, which is Endpoint Central Cloud agents here, right? We'll have a tight integration with Endpoint Central Cloud, and we will leverage the agents from Endpoint Central for all the scanning related process.
All right. So the next question is if we have any enhancements or workarounds that can help in classifying, dispatching, or prioritizing requests that have been created by the email route.
So when it comes to classification, I would always start with predictive AI features, right? So like I said, there is a huge machine learning process that is involved behind this. We read through the data, we identify the pattern, we automatically categorize the category, subcategory, technicians, predict them, and if there is a major issue or if there is a sudden surge of incoming emails, we can automatically predict any problem, upcoming problems, and you can also associate all those incidents with the problems and proactively work on it. So try and start exploring the AI features within ServiceDesk Plus Cloud, especially the predictive features, because we are using a model specific to your organization. So you can be assured that we are not using your data to train our global models. So we are using the model specific to the instance. So you can start from the predictive features. And apart from the predictive features, we also focus on the core functionalities like business rules, form rules, and triggers. With these automations, you can certainly categorize the request easily and start with proper utilization of the request, right? You can also make use of technician auto assign for automatically assigning the technicians, group email address for automatically assigning the group. So once the group gets assigned, based on the technicians involved within that group, the technician auto assign feature will automatically assign the technicians, right? So this way you can easily categorize and involve or invoke most of our automations in ServiceDesk. Yes.
All right. So we have another question. So they would like to know if we could assign approvals dynamically based on a specific criteria that is given or maybe configured early on.
Certainly, we can do that. That's the reason I'm very often highlighting an automation called triggers here, which can help you to trigger condition-based approvals. But if you would like to trigger approvals dynamically, if you have a workflow configured, you can make use of a split and join node to dynamically trigger approvals one by one. And with the help of split and join, you can join all the workflows together, right? So join all the approvals together. So you can consider both these automations in place. One is workflows and one is triggers.
All right. So I think we also had a couple of other questions that we'll go over. Okay. So Well, the first questions is, how can one access the various AI features in Services Plus Cloud? How do they get started with it? And to add to that question, also people would also like to know if the ZIA and AI capabilities are a paid add-on, or how do they go about the entire process?
Yes, thank you, Saket, for raising this important question related to ZIA and especially usage of AI. So, Service Desk offers a majority of the AI features for free of cost in the Enterprise Edition, and these features are split into various buckets. So, you have the predictive features and you have the generative features. So everything is provided free of cost as of now. So in the predictive features, you get field predictions, which is like category, subcategory, item, template, priority, group, technician, and you also have some more value added predictions, which can be a problem prediction or it can be an sentiment analysis. So these are all capabilities related to the request, and we not only stop there, it also extends to other modules. So you have change risk prediction and you also have problem technician prediction. So all of these predictions are based on historical records which you have accumulated in the service desk. We match it. So when any new ticket or change or problem is created, based on your historical records, we will suggest you which is the best possible outcome for that particular field. And when coming back to generative capabilities, so you have the reply assist or text assist where you just provide prompts and you get output in a contextual manner. And it not only stops there, you have knowledge generation capabilities. So you provide natural language prompts and you can directly create your knowledge articles. So these are the type of capabilities which we do offer for free in the enterprise edition of Service Desk.
Thanks, Hari. There was also one, major question that we did receive. That was, what are some of the AI features that we can expect for 2026? What are some of the interesting, enhancements and features that we can see regarding AI?
Right. So we are working on a variety of things across modules. So and these are things heavily done. The development is going on from the service desk. So some of the things on top of my head is that we are going to launch uh, autonomous agents very soon. So that is in our active pipeline. And we are also bringing in capabilities to identify redundant knowledge articles with the help of AI. We will be recommending possible new knowledge articles. So let's say the users are reporting every day or every month, let's say 35 tickets, 40 tickets based on many huge volumes, and there is no knowledge article in place. And if AI identifies that an existing knowledge article will add value to the organization, it will be recommended to the administrator. So these are some of the capabilities we are working on heavily in terms of AI aspect.
All right. Thanks, Hari. We also sorry. We also had a couple of other questions. Meanwhile, you can add your questions in the questions panel. We have Franco and Hari to answer them. Meanwhile, we also had a couple of other questions that people reached out to us. So we'll be answering them here so that you can get, in case you are having something similar, you can get them answered here. So one of the one of the major questions that were asked was, is it possible to add custom fields in the requester or the technician RHS layout, and how that would help in displaying certain information in the request details page?
Yes, certainly, Saket, because not just the default fields would help you. People are nowadays, configuring all the prominent fields within the custom fields as well, right? So yes, customers can certainly add custom fields to the technicians and request as RHS layout. They can utilize up to 20 custom fields, I would believe. So yes, it is
Okay.
possible.
All right. The next question that we had is would it be possible to use a reference image to create a workflow? So instead of just having to, drag and drop nodes, would it be possible to just add it into the ServiceDesk Plus Cloud,
Uh,
application and build it?
Certainly, that's a great question because I'm pretty sure you all might have explored Ask Zia. Ask Zia offers multimodal capability where you can create requests through prompts, through text, create requests through image, and through audio, which transcribes the voice. So when it comes to the workflow creation through images, yes, it is certainly possible, but with the help of other two AI providers. We support three AI providers. One is Zia, which is our in-house LLM, and the second AI provider is ChatGPT and Azure OpenAI. So right when you upload the image, we make use of the VLM capability and chunk through the image, and we will help you to create an exact workflow you want with the help of images. So this feature is available only if you're making use of other AI providers like ChatGPT and Azure OpenAI. And yes, we can certainly do it.
All right. So I think that eases the process of building a workflow. Right. So the next question is, let us say in case one does not know how to customize their self-service portal using the HTML code, or they have minimal experience. Is there a way that they can use low code suggestions, and how can they actually set it up?
All right. So when it comes to the portal customization, we are focusing on two sets of users. One who knows to write a code, like no HTML code. One who doesn't know, which is me. Like I can also make use of low code customization, where I can create just simply drag and drop buttons and create a portal. And we also have a GUI code based customization option which is available. So we have also recently launched templates, industry specific templates, where they can select a template and add the templates as much they want, and they can also make use of the user variable and text variable, like how Bhavadarni showcased. And we can also make use of a widget to showcase stuff. And the best part is they can add a URL widget if they would like to reach out through an external application right from ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. They can make use of URL widget to connect with a third party application. Okay, so such configurations is possible right from in a self-service, I mean ServiceDesk Plus Cloud, using the self-service portal customization. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We'll have the floor open for a couple more minutes. Kindly do add in your questions if you have any. Meanwhile, we also have another question. So how do the predictive and Gen AI features work, and how does how are they trained using and from where does the data get used for training these features?
Yes, so regarding the predictive AI features, it's going to use your past historical data. So let's say you have around 200 of tickets which are containing the value for technician, group, priority, template, category, subcategory, item. And when you enable the category prediction, let's say for example, and the 201st ticket comes out, the service desk will be analyzing your historical tickets, and it forms a pattern, and it will identify the top three categories that can be assigned for this category field for the ticket ID 201, and it will be a continuous learning process. So the reinforcement happens every week. So let's say you are deviating from your usual pattern. The ZR training will happen once in a week, and it will be able to form new patterns and predict you with more correct predictions for any of the fields. Regarding the generative capability, so we are using the a hosted LLM provider. We are providing Zia as our own hosted LLM. And with the help of LLM, you provide the prompt and the content will be generated. And these content can be your replies, it can be your text, it can be your workflows, or it can be your knowledge article. If you are not using Zia as an LLM, so obviously you have other two LLM providers, which will be OpenAI and Microsoft Azure OpenAI. So we will be depending on these providers. So you provide the prompt, we reach out to your LLM provider, and based on the response that is being provided by this LLM, and then we augment it in the service desk application. So that is how the entire flow works. Yeah.
All right, thank you. I think we have one. We have time for one last question. So, could importing users, let's say requesters from different data sources, let's say on-prem or cloud data sources, to be from one location in the product?
All right. So to answer this question, so what kind of data source when you say on-premise and cloud? Is if you would like to have this, auto import process, yes, you can certainly make use of. If it is an on-premise, I'm not sure whether you have heard about an application called Zoho Directory, right? So we'll be using Zoho Directory sync tool to synchronize users from your local Active Directory to ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. And if you are using cloud solution, which is Azure, we do have a direct integration with Azure, right? And if you are using any other cloud sources like Azure, Google, or any other cloud sources, Okta, right? So you can certainly make use of Zoho Directory, or you can also make use of the native integration which is available. And if you're using, if you do not have such sources, you can also, if you have a sheet kind of structure, you can make use of CSV import to add the users in ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. The prominent criteria for adding users is to verify their domains. If you have verified their domains, yes, you can certainly synchronize with the cloud and on-premise solutions and have the users synchronized in ServiceDesk Plus Cloud. Yeah.
All right. I think there's another question. Is there an escalation feature that allows end users to elevate their support requests?
Yes, we do have SLA. You can navigate to set up automation. Under automation, you have a specific tab called service level agreements, through which you can make use of automation to escalate and get the response in a timely manner. And if you have already experienced SLA, and if you would like to make use of other automations, not just notifications, if you would like to reach out to third party system, or if you'd like to create a task if there is a due date, you can certainly make use of timer feature to get that done.
The question is, I have technicians who are involved with project work and tickets. So, is there a way to see their availability in the calendar view? And is there a way to, that the calendar could account for both of them?
Yes, we have an option. Like, for example, if it's for projects, then we have a calendar view where it will talk about the start time of a project, milestone, or a task. So, based on the start time and the end time, those values will be available in the calendar. Now, if you're talking about the schedule, like if the technician itself is available or on leave and so on, then we have something called as the technician availability chart, which is configured by the technician who has the role of SD admin or SD site admin or SD coordinator. So these technicians with these roles, they'll be able to view the technician availability chart and either see them available or marked as leave. But if it's going to be just for the active request and projects and so on, then the best way is to see from the calendar of projects. And I see your question also says about with project and tickets. So when you say and tickets, so we have ticket created date, then we have the created completed date, due by date, and so on. So probably what we can do is you can send us an email we will, we can create a custom script for you, or we can just create a task for you and add that into the calendar through custom scripts. Based on the requirement you have, we'll collect more details, and then we'll see the best possible solution.
All right. We also have a couple of questions that were asked to us through different mediums. So we'll go through them as well. Meanwhile, you can also add in your questions in the questions tab. We will also pick them up. One of the first questions was, is it possible to limit your SD admin from modifying SLA related fields like the due date or the response due by date, etc.?
So the answer here would be SD admin role is the superior role, like it's the super admin role. So a technician with SD admin will have full privilege over Service Desk Plus admin configurations and also on a ticket. So they will be able to modify due date and response due by date. So what you can do is you can remove the SD admin role and give a permission, create a custom role. You can create a custom role by getting into setup and then roles. You can create your own roles, give them permission to the request module, and then limit that particular technician from modifying the due date and response due by date. So you can just do that by creating a custom role and assigning to the technician.
All right. Yeah. So next question, I personally felt this was something that was slightly interesting. Was would it be possible to have multiple survey templates and tying them to like a specific template or a specific group, specific user group, and is there a certain possibility of able to achieve this?
Yes, so we have options to create surveys, survey templates, and then you have options to create survey rules. So what you do is you create a survey rule, and then you put in the condition, and in the condition you say, give the input of a specific template, so that when this particular service template is created with a ticket, then this particular survey rule gets triggered, and it's only limited to certain templates or certain groups. So condition based survey, yes, so that's possible.
So the next question is it possible for a technician who is a reporting manager to be able to add the unavailability for their reportees?
Yeah, so we have the option called as technician availability chart. So technician availability chart is available for technician with SD coordinator, SD site admin, and SD admin, and they can mark leaves for the technicians, and they can always mark leaves for themselves or marks for any of the technicians. And once you mark leave, you will have the option to also have backup technicians configured.
So another question is regarding the subform type, which is under the customization tab. So we wanted to know if there is let's say, a possible use case that you would suggest, and how that could actually be useful for a service desk instance.
All right, so subform type is a feature which is available with ServiceDesk Plus Cloud when you're using custom module. So you have the option to create custom module similar to that of other modules. So you have modules like request, problem change, release projects, and purchase and contracts, and so on. Now you also have the option to create your own module and put in data in it, and then use that at a later point of time or in any other modules. You can just refer them, just refer the data in it, and do some processing with the scripts and so on. So talking about subform types, you can create a subform, so meaning you can get details like personal details like first name, last name, and if it's going to be an asset details, you're going to collect hardware, software details, or based on the organization's requirement, you can get any input. So it's going to be like subform to capture the details required in the organization, and then have that configured in the custom module. So subform is a feature which you can use it under custom module. And if any of you require some more details, you can send an email to hello@servicedeskplus.com. We'll talk about the feature, and then we can also showcase by creating sample custom module for your environment. And after getting your requirement, we can also implement the best possible solution.
All right. We have one more question, that is, can a user who's a technician be able to actually look at the technician availability chart? And
Yeah, so the technician with the role of SD admin, SD site admin, SD coordinator should be able to view the technician availability chart.
all right,
Yeah.
we have the next question. So Samir says, thanks for the webinar. We're really glad you're getting making the most out of our master classes. And the question is, how one can add web-based app licenses on a per user basis. They're still encountering certain issues with this, and they also want to generate a report showing which users have the licenses and how many licenses are currently remaining from their subscription.
All right, so we are building a feature for managing web-based app. So it's still on the way. Probably we'll send you an email because you have asked on the ETA on when we are going to have that added in the product. But for now, we can always, you can just email us and we'll go for a call, get the requirement, and we'll work on a workaround for what you have said. But as I said, the one which you're asking, it's like SaaS product license. So we are already working on it. We'll get back to you with an update on the ETA.
All right. You can also, take a look at our release notes and also the roadmap, which is available on our support page, so that you can be notified well in advance about the latest enhancements and features that are being released for Service Desk Plus Cloud. Meanwhile, we also have another question. So, the question is it possible to create a workflow? So let's say a service request is created, and I want to add an approval. And once the approval is approved from the necessary stakeholder, the workflow creates a ticket in another module. Let's say the project management module or the change management module. And not just creating the ticket, but also populating the details from the parent request. Is that something that can be achieved?
Yes, we can achieve this because this is one of the recommend which we get from many customers, because when a requester raises a request, they select a service request, put in all the details, and then send it for approval. And once it's approved, it goes through the process, the usual process in the environment through the workflow. And probably if it's going to be an issue, or if it's going to be a feature, or if it requests for a change or release, they would need all these details to be captured so that they can process through a change or release and so on. So yes, through custom scripts, we have the option to capture all the details which are already available in a service request. And then in a button's click, like we can have a menu created. We have an option called custom menu, which we can create, and then copy all the details from a ticket, and then move it to a change or release a problem, and also create the link between them. So yes, that is available.
All right. I see that we have another question. Um, you want to know what is the best way to create a request item for, let's say, a new mobile device that would trigger an approval to the department's senior leader. And it would be easier if the person was the direct manager, as there is a particular field for that, and but they are not sure of how to go about this.
So we would need some more details for this requirement. So yes, we have the script, and we have approval script, customized script, which we have provided for many of our customers. So yes, based on the requirement, we can set some conditions. So the normal workflow will be under approvals tab. You have the option to assign an approval. So it's going to be either a service request approver, or it's going to be a team manager, or like an org level designated user who will be the approval in different stages. But on a condition, like for example, if a request is from a certain user, or if it's going to be a certain condition, then we can take a totally different route, ignore the existing approval stages, and have the approval configured in the script to take it over. So yes, it is possible. So please email us, and or we will reach out to you and get some more details on this requirement, and we can set this up for you.
Okay, so the next question is, do we have scripts to automate the creation in Azure AD for the user onboarding and offboarding based tickets?
Yes, we have scripts to do that. So this is a usual requirement which we have in a lot of our customers' environments, employee onboarding and employee offboarding. So we have uh, options to create either in Azure or an on-prem Active Directory. Yes, we have the option, and please send us an email. We'll get more details and have this done for you. Yes, offboarding is more of to deactivate the account, and onboarding is to add the user. So what we do is, HR person creates a request, and when they create a request, you can get the values in an additional field. Just saying it for an example, you can get first name, last name, email, job title, and what are the details you would require to be posted in Azure. And then once the data is captured, go for an approval or different stages in the life cycle of a request. And then we can call for a function like a custom menu. And once that's done, or automatically based on a criteria, push the data to Azure. Yeah. So that's available.
We have another question. So, uh, can we allocate auto devices in stock with the job title? Is what Samir asks.
So probably we would need more details on this requirement if you're talking about devices, if it's going to be a workstation, or it's going to be a server, or it's going to be like a smartphone when an employee logs in, or I mean joins the organization. So yes, we can go for a call and discuss about this requirement. Yeah, so yeah, we will go for a call. We'll communicate through email, but I would say the recommend you have is possible, and we'll be happy to assist you. We will reach out to you somewhere.
Thanks, Franco, and thanks, Hari Ganapati, for answering all the questions patiently. I hope it the answers were helpful, and this would help you in improving your service desk usage as well.
And that's the end of the AMA session. So, as you continue your ITSM journey, don't forget our support portal has everything you might need, from admin guides to release notes, videos, community discussions, and troubleshooting resources. It's all there. And if you ever want to reach the team directly, just write to us at hello@servicedeskplus.com. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Masterclass. We appreciate your time and participation. Have a great day, and we hope to see you next year.